Hello, if you're watching this, you might be wondering where episode 2 is. So, pretty much what happened there was all the footage that I had, um, because half my footage cut off because I ran out of storage. Luckily, I got that fixed. But, pretty much, yeah, I got cut off. So, I decided not to upload it because it was very boring. Good thing I didn't die, so didn't miss out on any deaths. Um, I'd heavily recommend watching someone else's POV before my episode 3 comes out. So, in the meantime, I'll do something a bit different. A tier list. I'm gonna base this tier list off weapons and how fun they are to use. Ranging from S tier to F tier. Let's get on to it. Okay, so the first weapon would be the sword. Honestly, I find this pretty fun. This is like standard enjoyable Minecraft. There are very little flaws with it. Mainly because it's just it's just such a balanced weapon. Like combos are always fun, stuff like that. For that, since there aren't, the only real thing is like people when you get stuck in combos, it just seems like it just drags on for so long. So for that, I'm putting in A tier. Next is the axe. This is my weapon of choice, to be honest. Um, I find it very fun to use, but I don't think everyone does because of its kind of stealthy nature. It does disable shields, which inherently makes it more fun because shields are kind of a nuisance. For that, I'm putting it in B tier. Next is the bow. I don't think anyone really likes this for the fact that it just encourages ranged play, which usually isn't fun in a game. Considering that if it was enchanted with power 5, it would just demolish you. So this is gonna be the first F tier. Next one is the crossbow. I find this very fun to use because you can just charge up a bunch and smite a bunch of people with a full hotbar of them. But it has very similar issues with the bow where it's very spammy. Luckily, it doesn't do nearly as much damage. Multi-shot makes you barely be able to miss though. It's a very low difficulty curve, but I feel like that's okay if it's gonna be fun. At least for a ranged weapon. It's probably the most fun of a ranged weapon you could have. So for that, I'm putting it in C tier. Next is the shield. Everyone loves the shield. The main reason that this is in the game is to provide a balance between all weapons. And you know what? It makes sense. It's not meant to be fun, it's just meant to give gameplay flow. It can save your life in a lot of situations though. However, it is not fun at all to play against. But then again, it can get you out of like sword combos, stuff like that. So for that, I'd have to put it in D tier. Okay, plain raw TNT. I have seen so many just funny and fun things happen out of TNT. I don't know a single bad memory I have with TNT unless it's me just getting blown up by it and raging. But it's always hilarious, pretty much no matter what the scenario. So for that, it has to go on S tier. And next is the loyalty trident. No, this is the classic. You shoot it, it comes back to you. It, for a ranged weapon, it's, I guess, fine. For a normal weapon, it's not very optimal because of its slow, I guess, shot power. But I'd have to put it in D tier due to its, I guess, ranged nature. And even though the sound of hitting something is satisfying, I wouldn't say it's nearly enough to justify putting a ranged weapon high on the list. Next is a Riptide Trident, which is one of my favorite weapons to get around. So you can just whee! It's just so fun to launch yourself up and do any of that sort of stuff. It's probably my favorite way to transport myself. Even if it's raining, that's like especially fun. The only issue is that if it's raining, the enemies can just stall you out indefinitely. So I'd have, for that, give it A tier. Next is the TNT minecart. So there are gonna be 3 of these actually, or 3 variations. So the first one is just the normal TNT minecart. You like push it off stuff, and it lands and kills people. It's very satisfying to kill with these minecarts. However, when you just randomly die, because you're standing in a similar area for an extended amount of time, it just doesn't seem fun. But despite all that, it is still so funny if you're able to get like multi-kills, like triple, quadruple, stuff like that. And for that, I have to give it B tier. Next thing is a knockback sword, quick cart. This is honestly one of my favorite methods of using minecarts, and it is so funny. It can get annoying with people that are good at it, but for the most part, it's just so enjoyable. It has a similar issue with the minecart where you just kind of die. You don't really stand a chance. So, but I do find it more fun than just pushing a TNT minecart because you're actually putting more effort in. So for that, I'll give it A tier. Final one is quick carting with a bow. To be honest, I hate this method. It's just like, compared to everything else, it's just way too quick. And the skill gap is just way too high. I will say similar things about other stuff in this video, but it's just like, really? When you die to it, you kind of just sigh rather than anything else. And it's not always satisfying to pull off. Well, for some people it might be, but at least for me, I'm putting this in F tier. End crystals. This is where the higher difficulty you get to, the more optimal it becomes, but the more annoying it becomes as well. So, low skill level, you just pull up, place the obsidian, place the end crystal. High risk, high reward. Because you might actually, like, blow yourself up as well. But once it gets to, like, end crystal spam, I just don't think that's fun. And for that, I'm gonna put it in D tier. Next are, like, I'm gonna say any tipped arrows, because I don't want to go through all the arrows. Right now I got an arrow farming. But, right situation, these are super fun. Like, just like being able to shoot your teammates with them, get them some buff, and the adjustability on these with being able to use any potion or nearly any potion is just great. However, it relates to a bow, so that inherently drops it down a few points. I'll still put it in C tier. Okay, the next weapon is the firework crossbow. I find this to be very enjoyable because it creates flashy deaths rather than just like normal, I guess, deaths. That sounded weird, but since this is like a shorter range weapon, it's not really it's not very utilized well in long range, which kind of brings it up a bit compared to like the crossbow. Since the issue is that it does a lot of damage, so it gives similar issues to like, I guess, the minecarts and crystals. It depends on how many what's it called? I think it's rocket stars that you load into the fireworks. But for now, I'm gonna put it in B tier. Okay, now time for a speed round. Just 9 potions. I'm gonna go through all of them. Okay, swiftness, I'd have to say A tier. It's just fun. It's just very fun to be able to speed it away from your opponents. It can get a bit annoying though. Actually, I'll lower it to B. Slowness, honestly, F tier. It's just so annoying. There's no reason that you should use it anyways, because of, well, the ranged weapons. Turtle Master, also F tier. Slowing yourself down just to be able to tank extra hits is really good, but it's honestly just headache inducing. Heal potions, D tier. I will say, I do like, it does like help people get back into a fight quickly, but when it's used outside that, it's just annoying. Farming, this is honestly probably the most fun potion besides speed. If I look at these, so I'd have to put it in C tier. It's just, you just hit them with it and they take a lot of damage. It does have that risk reward behavior where if you hit it in an area where you take damage, then you might take like, yeah, a lot of damage, because this can deal like 6 hearts and in minimal gear, and it doesn't counteract with, what's it called, just normal armor. Anyways, this is the potion of poison. Probably F tier as well. It's just not fun to deal with. Just take damage a lot, stuff like that. With regeneration, I'll put that in D tier. Not fun to play against. You hit them, they regen. There's not much you can do about it. You kind of just die if you don't have anything else to counteract it. The only thing that is counteracted are things like, are big damage dealers like minecarts and crystals, stuff like that. Strength, F tier. You just get mauled. There's no play around it. It doesn't even feel satisfying because they die so quickly. They just die. Finally, weakness, F tier. Whoever thought of putting this in the game had something wrong with them, because this is evidently one of the most annoying potions I've ever seen. It, instead of it making you like stronger, which I guess is okay, because then you can like stall it out or whatever, weakness just makes you not be able to fight. You know, let's pretend like that never happened. Anyways, lava bucket. I don't know how to feel about this one. To be honest, I find it very boring. I want to put it in F tier. That's what I'm gonna do. Mainly just because they lava you, you take a lot of damage. If you get stuck in it, not much you can do about it. I almost forgot about cobwebs. These are also an F tier. It's just so annoying to get caught. There's not much else to say. You just, it just immobilizes you. You know, I will put in D tier because it can be counteracted with water. And so can lava, so I'll also put that in D tier. Since it has a viable counter, I will, yeah, keep that in there. Next is a pearl. It is very conflicting because on one hand, this is one of the most annoying tools when someone's running away. But then again, teleporting. C tier. Elytra. Considering that, what's it called? You get to, yeah, be able to fly around with it. It is a very fun tool. It can be used for escapes though in combination with rockets. I will put in B tier because it is enjoyable to use. Next is the turtle shell. It gives you water breathing, as you can see here. Usually you won't see this used conveniently, and luckily for good reason. Since it's very counterplayable, I will put in C tier, but it can be very annoying if used correctly. Okay, boats. This is something funny. In Finite Life, actually, boats got banned because they were just being used so much. This is not fun to deal with. You place it, you get away in any water source. I guess that's similar for the Riptide Trident, but the issue is that this is so much cheaper to make, and anyone can do it. And it encourages things like bows and stuff like that. Okay, the next one, keeping on the aquatic topic, fishing rod. This can be fun, and I've been like very fun to just like fishing rod people up and over and stuff like that. And the issue is that if it gets in your face, it is just so annoying. It's like if you know the blooper from Mario Kart, it's that level of annoying. So even though they're high highs, they're low lows, put it in B tier. Bucket of pufferfish. This is so comical. But if it's pulled off, then you get a decent poison without having to use pots, which are inherently lame. It's just so funny that I have to put it in like A tier. It's next is flint and steel. This is the catalyst for TNT. This is what I guess sets forests on fire. Not usually helping you. It's very basic. It's not necessarily bad. Not great either. Put in B. I forgot I put this on the list. Eggs. Um, they can knock people off stuff. That's their only feature. And since it's one of the few ranged weapons that doesn't do extreme amounts of damage, I'll just put in like A. It's wild, but it's actually like fun to use. Okay, steak. It's like your classic food source. There's really nothing you can go wrong with it. It inherently free region is inherently a bit lame, so I will put it in C tier for now. Golden carrot, similar stats to the steak. The only difference is the high saturation. I feel like it's a similar level though. Next is the golden apple. Of course, this gives you 2 saturation hearts. This really is just good for balancing. It's not overly broken. This is just a very balanced food source, but not necessarily a food source, but option. Just considering how balanced it is, even though it doesn't really have a necessary like value point, I'll put it in B tier. Enchanted gaffles. Ugh. The main issue I have with this is that it's just too strong. It's not balanced. Even though they're super rare. Well, even now they aren't, because what's it called? You can get these just from like exploring like anywhere, you know. I put in D tier. I feel crazy saying this, but okay. And finally, the chorus fruit. This is honestly one of the most fun foods to use because you just teleport around randomly, and it's not like annoying like the Ender Pearl, because you're set to like a 16 by 16 area, and yeah, I feel crazy for saying this once again, but S tier. Okay, this is okay. So this is the list. Tell me how you feel about I'll leave the opportunity to the screenshot. Here you go. It honestly, this is a new type of content that I've been trying, and it's felt actually really refreshing. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.